All right, so using a pipettor is one of the key skills that you need in biology. They're used for all sorts of biochemistry and microbiology. Pipettors are not toys. They're made out of plastic, but they're very expensive. These pipettors range from about $225, $250, but they can be as expensive as $400. So it's very important to use these correctly. They are easily broken. Pipettors come in different sizes. This is a P1000. It goes from 200 to 1,000 microliters, so that is up to 1 mil. And you'll notice it's got a blue color on the back, which means that it matches to blue pipette tips. We'll also supply you, depending on the class, with a P200, which will range from 20 to 200 microliters, and a P20, which will go down to 2 microliters and all the way up to 20. And you can get other sizes as well. Note that these have a yellow back on them, and so they are size matched to the yellow pipette tips. Each pipettor is marked with a range that it can be used for. Don't go below the lower number, whether that's 100 or 20 or whatever's marked, and don't go above the higher number. Going outside the range of the pipettor will cause it to become damaged, to lose accuracy, and then anyone using it in the future will not get good results. When you need to pipette, you want to choose a pipettor that's got the smallest appropriate range. So if your volume is, say, 200 microliters, use a P200. It's right at the top of its range, but it will work. You wouldn't choose to use a P1000, even though it will go that low. Okay, so when you want to pipette, take your pipettor of the appropriate size, and you want to dial it to the right volume. You can either dial it here, or you can dial it from the top, depending on what's more comfortable for you. Say I want to pipette 100 microliters. That's the appropriate range for a 20 to 200 mil or microliter pipettor. So I will turn this down until it reaches 100. And that on this pipettor will just be 100. I'll then open my box pipettor tips and firmly press the pipettor tip on. Say I want to take some liquid from this beaker. What I'm going to do is press down on the back of the pipettor with my thumb. I'm then going to put the pipettor into the liquid with the tip just below the surface. You don't want to stick it in all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to slowly lift my thumb up, allowing that liquid to be drawn into the pipettor. I can then say I want to transfer it to this microcentrifuge tube, put it on the side of this microcentrifuge tube, and again press down with my thumb slowly, putting that liquid out, and then I'm going to press just a little bit further. There are 2 stops on here, so I'll press beyond the first step. What that will do is that will expel any last droplet from the tip. I can then take the pipettor out of the tube and let my thumb up. Once you've pipetted your liquid, put your pipettor over the waste bin for pipette tips. Do not put these in general waste, but into a dedicated pipette tip waste. And then press down on the ejector button, which is this button at the back, and that will eject your pipette tip. You want to do 10 microliters. You need to look carefully at how they're scaled. You'll notice that the last number here is in red. That's because it's a decimal point. So if I want 10 microliters, I'm going to turn this until it reads 100. So again, this is 10 microliters, not 100 microliters. It's yellow, so I'll use a yellow pipette tip. And again, I put it into the solution just below the surface. Then I lift my thumb up, transfer it to the other tube, put it on the side of the tube, down low, and gently expel the liquid, and then pass that first stop point to expel any droplets. Remove the pipettor, put my thumb up, and eject the tip. Never use the same tip for different samples. You use a tip once, and then you eject it, and then you use a new tip. When you've got a pipettor, don't leave it lying on your bench. Always hang it on the pipette rack between every use.